No, that's a really good question.
It's a tough one, yes. I mean, I'm just trying to think immediately as Potter as a parody. Is there a Potter parody? I'm sure there is. Intrigued. What are all the trinkets behind you?
Let's say that's Witcher, Fallout, Silent Hill, Avengers,
Quite the collection
Transformers.
going.
Wow.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
Tom, Jim, how's it going?
Hi, John.
Hey, John, how's it going?
It's going good. All right, so I love saying the name of this movie, Fackham Hall, and
Fackham Hall, indeed.
yes,
You gotta say it in his
and,
lovely British accent.
and it's like a love letter to Monty Python with this spoof. So I was wondering for each of you if you can turn one of your past projects, whether film or TV, into a spoof. Which one would it be and why?
No, that's a really good question.
It's a tough one, yes. I mean, I'm just trying to think immediately as Potter as a parody. Is there a Potter parody? I'm sure there is.
But the problem is, while you're thinking about that, the problem is, I've done straight period dramas, so I've now spoofed that. I've done British detective shows, and I did a series called A Touch of Cloth, which was a spoof of British detective shows. I'm running out of projects for my own parody. Some might argue my whole career is now a parody of itself.
I'm gonna come up with some new ones. Don't worry. I honestly I can't think of any off the top, but this is such a beautiful nod to my childhood. Really, my dad was such a Monty Python, Faulty Towers fan, and my mum was such a huge fan of the Royal Family and Downton Abbey and that sort of Jane Austen period drama. So those two colliding together sounds like a pretty bad idea. However, however, I was 4 pages into the script and I thought this is outrageously funny. If we can pull this off, it will be brilliant. So it's so nice to see it all come to fruition.
Oh yeah, the first few minutes of watching this, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a good time. So, Downton Abbey, period piece. This has a lot of inspirations for that, and I was wondering for each of you if you can choose, let's say like your dream period, historical era for a project. What would it be?
Hmm. Well, is it like I one of the attractions for this of this for me was yes the parody and all that, but the 30s is a brilliant time to do because the costumes are amazing at that time, the hairstyles were incredible, the sort of style was brilliant. So I found the 30s really interesting, and it's an interesting time politically
It's
and
quite ludicrous, isn't it? Everything's
the whole thing is it's sort of ludicrous.
yes.
So it was sort of easy to send up, I suppose.
Yeah, I was thinking of like the kitchen scenes where there's got 18 chefs there and also the amount of pageantry they had in those days and the people that had the money to own somewhere like Fackham Hall, the amount of valets and the drivers and all the various staff members. I'd say, yeah, definitely that as a quintessential British one. I always quite liked the Roman era as well. I mean, swords and sandals, but in a different way. It's sort of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
gladiators of the time.
Yeah. Because the thing is, you look at something like the 70s, and it's hard to parody that because it's sort of so out there. I think it's the sort of politeness of Fackham Hall
Yes.
and the kind of period dramas, that sort of politeness and the ease with which they accept the class system.
Yes.
That
Incest.
really you just want to puncture it. You just want to puncture that
Yeah,
sort of self-importance.
if you didn't listen to actually what the characters are saying in Fackham Hall, you could easily believe that they're speaking, from the heart, and there's nothing funny about it at all. It's only when you listen to it that you start to realize how absurd what they are actually saying is,
Oh
whilst they
yeah.
have this great physical comedy happening behind them, whether it be a panda or Damien Lewis choking. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of visual gags in this, and a lot of busy stuff in the background for viewers to try to like pinpoint, like, oh, that's a cool little Easter egg. And I was wondering for you, just being on the set, was it hard to focus on what you're trying to
Half
do?
the time, I didn't know about these Easter eggs. Half the time, I just found out they had sumo wrestlers on the notes. Jim, to your credit, has a wonderful ability to just make the scene feel like two people talking or four people talking, whilst at the same time him and the crew sort of organizing these sort of Easter eggs, as you called them, sort of gags in the background that you might not spot if you were focused on the actors or whoever's happening in the scene. But if you did look in the background, you think this is.
But I think that's one of the great things about having a theatrical release for this,
Yeah.
you know, is that those things on the big screen, they start to ping out a little bit more than if you're watching on a laptop or
actually
on the TV, you'll see them.
I'm glad you said that as well, because I grew up with the cinema, and it's a shared experience. The cinema, a bit like the theater. Of course, we all watch things at home and laptops and stuff, but I do think we miss having a good romp together, as far as like everyone just sort of drops their guard. Everyone's allowed to be a little bit silly for an hour and a half.
Particularly comedy, I think.
Yeah.
It should be shared.
We had this conversation actually yesterday about the license to laugh. Sometimes it takes someone next to you to like burst into laughter before you realize that you're allowed to do that too in public, because we don't usually sort of do that. I think this is the best example I can think of in the last 5 years, that we should get together in a cinema and all laugh together. And I think it will please audiences around the world.
Oh yeah, and one of the things I like about this is that since there's so many things happening, it makes me want to rewatch it just to see more things that I may have missed. And I was wondering for each of you, if there's like that one movie that you just love rewatching over and over again.
Yes, Fackham Hall.
Tom's still learning things about Fackham. I didn't know we had sumo wrestlers.
I've seen it.
See them in the back of shop.
I've seen it 6 times, and the gags that I like so
Wow.
much, I focus on that. And now I'm realizing all the different subtle wordplay and nods to all the other bits and pieces. But no, go on.
I watch Annie Hall. I love Annie Hall, and I watch that again and again and again. And I just, you know, I think Woody Allen, in a way, there's an influence of Woody Allen on this stuff too. In the, you know, it was always played sort of seriously, as a sort of serious, romantic comedy, while this crazy stuff is happening and surreal stuff is
you
happening.
almost had to be told, is this a comedy, or are we allowed to laugh here at this moment? I think the one that comes to mind is Planes, Trains and Automobiles. One of Hughes's, John Candy, big fan of him. It's more of a drama, I think, than a comedy, but
it's one of those films you watch again and again.
Just keep rewatching. It's like a big comfort blanket.
The Wizard of Oz is my others at Christmas.
Really?
The Wizard of Oz used to come on Irish television every Christmas.
Right.
And so my family, I have young kids, and they just won't sit and watch it with me, so I have to watch it. That's all right. Enjoy it.
All right, Tom. So in this one, you play like the antagonist, and you've been known to playing antagonists, but also reluctant heroes. For example, Altered and The Flash. And so I was wondering if there is like a type of role that you prefer.
Antagonist? I've got no idea what you're talking about. I suspend this interview immediately. No, not. I think Thomason said it good. Said it better than I did earlier. The further away the character is from me, the better, really. Hopefully, I don't share too many qualities of our dear Archibald, the character I play. But you know, the further away they are from Tom, the better. Whether they're antagonists or not, I seem to have a proclivity towards the antagonizing side of things. But again, I like to think Tom's quite light and upbeat. So playing the opposite is a lot more fun, and something you can really sort of sink your teeth into more and find more reasons to like them, rather than just see them as bad guys or villains.
And I think that's one of the things that Tom has done with Archibald. He is the antagonist. In every way, he's described as the odious Archie. We must stop Rose marrying the odious Archie.
He's a slimy git.
He's a slimy git. He's vile. But Tom kind of made him a bit likable. You sort of felt a little bit, just as a little bit of you that feels sorry for Archie.
Yeah, I think 1% there's a bit like, oh boy, not again.
But that's all the time I have, guys. But it was a pleasure chatting with you both.